that real. This that real. This that real.
They don't wanna see you winning. They rather see me losing. Closing up my mouth in confusion. Contusion. Rather see me contusion.
2 summers down and we came up. Pedal to the ground like it ain't nothing. Watch on her wrist and I made love. And I pray for the ground that I stay clutching. 2 summers down and we came up. Pedal to the ground like it ain't nothing. Watch on her wrist and I made love. And I pray for the ground that I stay close.
Fit the shoes. So I don't know if you've been feeling this way, but I think that we are evolving. That's the correct word. I think that we're evolving, and I'm just afraid to say that we're evolving because I don't want that feeling of like jinxing it or jinxing the idea and that I stop evolving. So,
but why would you stop evolving? Like, what is the definition of the jinx? What happens? What's gonna happen in your mind of creativity? What's gonna happen if you say we're evolving and you embrace the idea that we are? Mm-hmm. What is the thing that's going to stop you from evolving?
have like an exact idea, and that's how you know it's not real. Like, that's how you know it's not a thing. Okay. Because it's like, you just feel it. It's an emotional thing.
It's the monster under the bed in that sense.
It's like,
because there's never actually a monster there, but it certainly feels like it.
I know.
When you're 6 and the room's pitch black. Yeah. You can't convince a 6-year-old
that's exactly
there's not a monster there.
So you're 100% correct. That's exactly what it's like. It's like, I feel like my talents, the way I look, my family around me, everything is just coming up. We're all going in the right direction.
Sure.
And then the feeling of, well, everything's going so good, you know, why don't I just stop here and like stop progressing, so that way if I stop progressing, it won't, you know, I won't get the monster under the bed trying to attack me.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay, the monster in my mind. Let's not use the bed reference, but the monster in my mind.
No, I mean, even bed or head, whichever one you want to use. Regardless, you said, does it make sense? And I don't agree with it. So I ain't going to say that it makes sense to me.
Oh, okay.
I think if you stop progressing, that's what happened. You stopped progressing.
I myself stopped it.
You stop progressing.
There's no thingy.
Well, yeah, you yourself stop it. And what's going to happen is a domino effect, right? So your family, like you were mentioning, and the things that you value about your come up will all have a domino effect on that. Mm-hmm. All those things will stop doing that. Thus, you will hit speed bumps, right? So let's say, for instance, I'm in the gym. I feel like I've been involving in the gym, right? Okay. I stop going. My gut comes back.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, there's the monster in my stomach.
Yeah, because
I stopped doing it. Yeah, exactly. Worst that can happen is I keep doing better. Like, look how many people there are in the world.
Yeah.
But yet, even though we got some negative news reports and all this stuff that we see on TV, there's like 10 a day.
Yeah.
10 negative things to say a day out of like 8 billion people. There's two different
types of evolving, though. Okay. It's like kind of what I'm going through right now is like the evolving where it's like that, like what we just talked about. And then it's the evolving like you're doing so well, but it's like subconsciously. Like you're doing so well, but you're not actually, I don't know if this applies to you, but like, sometimes I don't even put the work into anything, and it almost just feels like me as a person, I'm getting better. Like, I could be, of course, I do what I got to get done around the house.
Well, maybe the reason you feel like it's subconscious is because you just said you don't acknowledge it in your conscious. So, consciously, you aren't saying, I'm doing better, but you want to keep it in the back of your mind so that you can keep doing better without thinking about it.
I didn't finish my thought, though. Okay. I was going to say that it feels like that, and then when I recognize I'm progressing subconsciously, when I'm like, oh, wait, I'm actually doing good.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like, oh, well, no, because now actually trying to progress takes a lot of work.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get the point. of it, you know.
Do you feel, so I started off with saying that because I would like to know, do you feel that way? Not how I'm feeling, but do you feel like you're evolving? That's
okay. Do I feel like I'm evolving?
No, like forget all the things that I've said. Yeah.
I understand. Of course, absolutely. That's two easy answers, and they ain't supposed to be cocky. They're humble, but it's the truth. And the truth is, hell yes is the answer, to be honest. We went from 2 summers down. I expressed that on my album. Pedal to the ground like it ain't nothing. And the point and the idea there is my mindset really is, it doesn't take a lot to do well. It doesn't. It just takes constant effort and kind of like fearlessness. Mm-hmm. So so it's the exact opposite for me. You're saying in your subconscious you're doing well, and your conscious you question how well you're doing. Me is the exact opposite. In my conscious, I'm bulletproof. Oh my God, you see me, you see the way I act, you see the way I move and what I'm doing.
But does
you
that
think
come
it's
with age?
nonstop. It comes with being tired of not getting what you want. That's what it comes
Which
with.
could sort of be age, right?
Sure,
Like,
you get your ass whooped long enough, longer years. Yeah. I'm sure with time it just got that way, but yeah. And for some people it doesn't. Some people it doesn't take that long to just be like, nope, I'm doing it now. Maybe it's just one really big event. For me, it's been a bunch of really small or really long for me events.
Right.
It's like I'm tired of it not being the way I want it to be. But then in my conscious, my subconscious is where the enemy likes to try to trick you and play games with you and make you think about the monsters under the bed.
That's
so
true.
I keep that back there, and I want that out as well. And if you asked me, I would probably say that's not there as well.
So
other
what,
than
what
moments
is
like
something
this.
that you feel like you're evolving in, really? Because, I mean, like, just very, like, bluntly what you think. It doesn't have to be, like, in
Evolving
detail.
in general.
Like, is clothing a thing?
No,
for you? Or is that, like, too much of a...
I don't even, it's too specific, I'd say. I don't look at it like that. I think right now what I'm evolving in is openness, willingness. So, like, willingness to participate.
Personality traits.
Sure, but they reflect clothing, too, right? So, like, the show we had, I just did my first headline, right? We were there, whatever. It was amazing. Not whatever. It was amazing. I'm very thankful. Perfect example, though. I, in my normal mindset, would want to go to that show in a t-shirt with some rips in it, which I've been trying to get for years. But instead, someone told me, yo, go the complete opposite direction. Wear a Aloha shirt. And I'm thinking that's a terrible idea. But I participated because I knew no matter what I was wearing, right now,
You
I
went
have
out of
no
your comfort
choice.
zone, would you say?
My
You went out of your
willingness. So you asked me what my
okay.
two things or my things were in evolving right now.
Okay.
And one of them is my willingness to try new things, to participate with people, participate with new ideas, clothing, whatever. And persistence of just not giving up.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm just like thinking about it in my head, like what were all the times in life that I
Was unwilling. Right,
I
Right.
I gave it that shot.
Sure.
I don't know, it's not very often. I hate to say that, but then that goes back to what I was saying. That's because I have that like you step forward and you step back because you're not sure and then you do this. But if you have the will, it's almost like you don't care. Like
It's
I'm just
almost
gonna
like
go
it.
for it and
Yeah,
kind
and
of see what happens.
It's a cold pool. It's never that bad. Nothing's that
I know it's the brain. I'm telling you, it's like it's that idea that something's gonna happen, but like
It's
you can't.
never
If
that
you
freaking
actually
bad.
sat and thought about what are at least 5 things that could happen, you're like, dude, you can't like think
You can't
of
even think of
anything.
anything.
Like, you
And then
have-
something
yeah.
does happen. You take that leap of faith, and then something does happen, and you're like, that not only wasn't bad, it was unexpected.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that bad, and
I
it
handled
actually
it.
just made me think, I'm gonna try even harder for my thing now.
Right.
So those, it is a push. You know what it is? It's like being on the playground with a bunch of kids who you want to play with, but you don't know them, and you're new at the school, and you want to play with them. And you start running toward them, and you think, oh man, these kids might pick on me right now. You start running toward them, and then you get pushed from behind.
On accident.
Technically, that just propelled you forward even quicker.
Oh,
Whoever pushed you has gotten you that much
Okay,
closer
so something that
to
could
joining
have
the group
been
of kids.
looked at as bad.
That's all I'm saying. You just gotta learn to tumble and roll next time. So
Go
when you
with
get
the
pushed,
flow.
get the sand
Hold
out
on,
your nose.
dog. Go with the
Yeah,
flow.
yeah.
That's really what we got to do. I feel like when it comes to
Yeah,
evolving,
exactly.
you
Yeah.
just have to have
You
the
learn to
will.
surf. You gotta surf.
I gotta write this
Surf
stuff
the
down.
wave. You're right. I think it's right.
We really got. I mean,
Exactly.
like, come on, like that's so. It's such an obvious thing that we don't talk about.
Sure.
But like, if we just go with the flow more often,
Sure.
you'll start seeing progression in yourself evolving.
You're right.
Like,
Yeah. And the thing about the flow is that your fears directly are the opposite of the flow because they flow. There's a chance you're gonna flow in ways you're gonna be uncomfortable, right? So perfect example, the necklace. We just created a necklace the other day, and you got so excited about doing it. You're very hands-on with new activities, new projects. So you're doing it, and then you're taking the lead on this. I'm just in the background, right? That's my perspective. You're doing it. You got the ideas. You know what we can use. The
Yeah,
tools.
I'm so
you know where
about
we
it
can
in
get
that moment. Like, it's time to get it done now.
Right.
then-
And you know where we can get the products. We go get the products. I'm just playing backseat. So to me, it isn't a thing I'm going to be interested in. But my willingness to be like, I'm going to sit here and watch you do it gave me the chance to say, hey, if your nails are getting in the way, I can try to help. And then that pushed me to, oh, well, I don't know why I'm doing this. Is this even important? And those are the things that start coming to you. Is this important? Why am I doing this? It's hot. It's this. It's that. But then I'm like, let's just focus on why I was doing this. I don't really remember at this point. Then we finish it. And then here's the speed bump. Here's the fear. Monster under the bed. It isn't the way we turned out.
Yeah.
Right.
We do all that work and then to be...
It's disappointing.
But
now we found our store. Our store is...
But you know, that's the next...
we can do this.
But here's the thing. That's the next step that I feel like me and a lot of people don't take. And that's the stupid step of like... Because if I were to finish that... If I was by myself and I finished that necklace, I would have been like, oh, I did all that work. I'm not going to keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
To be further possibly
do more
disappointed.
work. Like, what was even the point of that? Like,
Right.
I did all that, and it's not what I wanted. So, it's okay. That's kind of my thing. It's okay. As to you, it's like... I just did all this. It's not what I wanted, so I'm still gonna try to get what I want.
Whoa,
like, it isn't
that sounds like somebody else. That is not. That is the perfect
well, that's
perspective.
What it made it, that's what you made it look
that's
like.
That's what it's supposed to look like. That damn sure that was going on in my head.
Shoot.
I do all this work, and the first thing. What is the first thing I said? I did all of it, and I'm like. And your first thought was,
I mean, you don't say these things out loud.
This doesn't look that bad. That's what you said. And then I was like, no, this is the monster. Let's address this sucks, right? Mm-hmm. So, but that's okay because that does motivate me to do it better. Because now I feel like I just lost to myself though. Because someone else had already curated the necklace we were trying to recreate.
Right,
which means it is possible. And we have all the tools they have. There's no difference. They just know something I don't. That's what motivated me. So I look at them like, let's look at the picture again. And we're holding the terrible version of theirs.
The baby necklace.
Looking at theirs like, oh, this is, you know what's weird about it? These are just too small. That's overcomeable. Yeah. Okay, bang. All we gotta do is find bigger ones.
Yeah. But then you gotta
Back
do
to
the work.
Store.
You gotta do the work.
Right.
You gotta buy more. You better have that money.
So let me ask you this
You
then.
better do it all.
Let me ask you this then. You finish it by yourself. You didn't get the results you wanted. You said you would normally not continue, right? But what if you immediately thought, "Oh, I know what I did wrong," and then you think, "Oh, that would be easy." So let's say, for instance,
I think it comes back it comes back around like in a circle. Like somewhere in my brain is like, we couldn't complete this necklace. It didn't come out right. I walk away from it, and then like 4 days later, I come back and I'm like, "Oh, this thing," and then I start researching on my phone.
Oh, so you split it up. You split it up.
Which sucks because I don't get it done right.
Right. And you push the goal out maybe longer
it's like,
than you want.
what is that? And then you know what it is? In that 4-day period, I'm like, I look at a piggy bank that I have here and I'm like, oh, how do I turn a piggy bank into a cool lamp or something like that?
Sure.
And now I'm working on another project and it's like, oh, this doesn't work. And then the 3rd day, hold on, y'all, it ain't over. Something else happens. I start cleaning the bathroom or whatever. I'm like, I wonder how I could build storage. And literally all this stuff. The
all these
bank,
ideas,
the
great
necklace,
ideas.
The thing, oh, it's great. I could be Albert Einstein. I'm doing all this stuff.
Sure.
And then on the 4th day, I find the necklace again. I'm like, oh, this thing. And I could either say, forget this because I got the piggy, I got the storage thing, I have everything else.
Other ideas.
Or I can start looking online. And so it's always this half-assed done thing. It really is never.
You know what I think it does come to?
So
okay.
annoying.
So you mentioned this. And I think that the older you get, this happens. The older you get, you stop looking at a pair of pants to just be a pair of pants, and you start seeing like all the ways that things are connected to them. So like, if I thought about a pair of pants, I would think about how I look in them. I would think about how they look on me.
Who's wearing them?
I would think about who else has worn them. I think about the color, the pattern, the texture, normal stuff. But then I may also think, how long will they last now? I may also think about term of phrases like, if the pants, no, that's if the shoe fits, where.
No, that's that saying where like the pants will get up and walk by themselves.
Yeah, that. I might think about like, you want to wear the big pants. I may think about all these things that correlate with pants now. And that makes me see them in a broader scope of how it's going to affect me if I don't do it.
Because you're not that much older than me, and the fact that you do that, I want to know if that's like just a you thing, because dang.
No, I mean, you do it too. Because the plane flew past and you pointed at it, which I know means you associate that with moving forward.
Oh.
But it's just an airplane.
accurate.
But
why would I?
It's just an airplane. You clearly just saw it for multiple dynamics. You know what I mean? So seeing things in broader and different ways, and right, that is what a fear is, right? Because, for instance, if you're not afraid of snakes, but I'm death-defyingly afraid of snakes, the only reason I'm afraid is there's only one thing in the world that fear is defined as, and that's misunderstanding. You just don't know about a thing enough.
It's the not knowing.
Not knowing. Is it going to jump on me? Is it going to bite me? If it bites me, will it kill me? Now you're like down a rabbit hole of being in a hospital.
Yep.
Yeah.
Being in the hospital in Florida.
It's like a whole imagination thing. So.
Insider.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. It's good.
Man, guy, well, we got to keep up this willingness then. I mean, that's...
The will
The will
to do it. Speaking of which,
the Will Smith.